Kalalam Malak Yahweh, Wa Yahushai Bahashem, Racha, Kwadash. Double honors to the elders of GMS Ruel, blessings unto those men, and blessings and salutations to the Akim out there in truth, pushing his word in all sincerity and in honesty. With that being said, Shalom Israel Barak. Today's lesson, these smaller nations can no longer be bullied. And right now, the nations are angry, pursuant to the scripture of Revelation 11 and 18. And the nations are also angry because they are being taken out of their comfort zone. These smaller nations can no longer be bullied. And it's just as it says here on April 13th, 2024, as it says here, the Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps, IRGC, a branch of the Iranian Armed Forces in collaboration with the Islamic Resistance in Iraq, Lebanese militant group Hezbollah, and the Ansar Allah Houthis launched retaliatory attacks against Israel and the Israeli-occupied Golan Heights with loitering munitions, cruise missiles, and ballistic missiles. The attack was codenamed by Iran as Operation True Promise. And for those who do not know, the Iranians are the Persians. That's the Persian Empire. And further reading says, Iran said it was retaliation for the Israeli bombing of the Iranian embassy in Damascus on April 1st, which killed 2 Iranian generals. That's why it was named Operation True Promise. The strike was seen as a spillover of the Israel-Hamas war and marked Iran's first direct attack on Israel since the start of the proxy conflict. And that goes to show you that these smaller nations can no longer be bullied. That's why the scripture of Joel 3, 9, and 10 says the following. Joel 3 and 9, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Right. And the scripture of Ecclesiastes 3 and 8 has said a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. But the nations are no longer in a dormant state of peace. But now these mighty men of the nations are now awakened and being prepared for the final coming war of Armageddon. Armageddon, Hebrew word Armageddon, the mountain of the troops. They are being prepared for the final showdown of World War III. Joel 3 and 10, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. And when it comes to plowshares and pruning hooks, these are tools of agriculture. A plowshare is the steel blade of the plow that cuts the top layer of the soil. And a pruning hook is an agricultural, long-handled pruning saw that has a curved blade at the end. Right, it's a long-handled agricultural tool with a sickle blade at the end that is used for trimming plants. Look at Iran's agriculture, for instance. Here I have an article from Statista.com on Iran's agriculture that says the following. Gross production value in agriculture market is projected to amount to US $33.32 billion in 2024. An annual growth rate of 1.09% is expected according to the compound annual growth rate, or the CAGR, of 2024 through 2029, as you can see here, resulting in gross production value of US $35.17 billion in 2029. Now, the import value in agriculture market is projected to amount to US $9,150 million in 2024. An annual growth rate of 5.02% is expected. See CAGR 2024 through 2029. The export value in agriculture market is projected to amount to US $971.8 million in 2024, an annual growth rate of 30%. 0.30% is expected, CAGR 2024 through 2029. So in other words, the scripture of Joel 3:10 is basically saying to take that money invested and gained from agriculture and to use it to make or buy military weapons. That's the reason why the scripture of Joel 3:10 has said, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. So the Iranians, aka the Persians, are making billions of their agriculture. And the reason being is because the wide range of temperature fluctuation in different parts of the country and multiplicity of climate zones make it possible to cultivate a diverse variety of crops, including cereals, wheat, barley, rice, and corn, maize, fruits, dates, figs, pomegranates, melons and grapes, vegetables, cotton and sugar beets. Those nations that were into cultivation now trading for military weapons or buying military weapons. That's right. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Right. Because now they have nuclear capability. They have leveled out the playing field. Let the weak say, I am strong. The weak and smaller nations are now confident in saying, I am strong, due to the fact that they now possess nuclear capability and are backed up by other greater superpowered nations. These smaller nations have now leveled out the playing field in the possession of nuclear capability. And Iran has many different kinds of drones, 10 different drones, I believe it is. So that goes to show you that these smaller nations are now strong. Joel 3:10. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Let the weak say, I am strong. This is in reference to smaller countries such as North Korea and Iran possessing nuclear capability. And the Iranians are the Persians. But these smaller countries that now possess nuclear capability, they are also strong due to the support and backup of these other superpower nations such as Russia and China. And even though Esau or Edom weakens the nations through their sanctions, these smaller countries are no longer weak but strong in possessing nuclear weapons and unmanned vehicles. Iran itself possesses suicide drones that have diverse capabilities. Iran has at least 10 different models of suicide drones, which explode on impact. The weaker and smaller nations are now confident in saying, I am strong, due to the fact that they now possess nuclear capability and are backed up by greater superpowered nations. This is why the scripture of Joel 3:10 has said, let the weak say, I am strong. In other words, the little nation can no longer be bullied. The weaker nations have now leveled the playing field when it comes to the waster to destroy. We are no longer in a time of peace, but of war. And that is exactly what's coming. As soon as they implement that CHIP of Revelation 13 and 16 through 18, then that war cometh quickly. that war to end all wars follows quickly. But with that being said, Kal Allah Malak Yahweh, Wa Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachak, Wadash, and double honors to the elders of Jemas Ruel. Blessings unto those men, and blessings and salutations to the Akim out there in truth, pushing his word in all sincerity and in honesty. With that being said, Shalom Israel, Brakta.